Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob, and welcome back to another episode of the South Carolina Gamecocks Dynasty here on EA Sports College Football 25, where today we've reached our postseason bowl game here at the TaxSlayer Bowl in Florida, where the 8-4 South Carolina Gamecocks will face the 8-5 17th ranked NC State Wolfpack. And what should be a game here, a good game in the Gator Bowl at Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville, Florida. Gamecocks coming to this game reeling, winning one of their last 5 games of the season, while NC State's coming off a loss in the ACC Championship to Miami. So both teams would love to end their season on a winning note. It's not going to be easy, but if you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty Mode content. As we're underway here in Jacksonville, Florida, NC State starts off with the football, as they'll take a knee in the end zone. That'll bring out to the 25. Looking at the numbers, one thing that stands out for me the most is that third down conversion. NC State only 38% on the season on third downs. This is a first down, though, and on 1st and 10, it's Jeremiah Cashman, the junior, with a run of 9. He's got 650 yards on the season. Second and 1 to go back to Cashman, and he picks up a first down, breaking the tackle, and he's got 17 yards on his first 2 carries. Last week, Cashman had 10 for 74, a pretty solid day in the loss. As the next play, he'll get his 3rd carry already, and Sonny Gowan will bring him down after a game of 2. Gowan playing his last game as a Gamecock, a senior who will be farewelled at the end of this game. 2nd and 8, first pass is a screen out wide for Emmanuel Bulaga, who gets maybe 6. And now it's 3rd and 3, first third down for NC State, and they will start by picking it up as it's a burst on the ground. Now to the 47 they go. This time it's a handoff right side, and Cashman gets 2. NC State relying on the ground game early. I thought it would be the opposite. As here's another carry, and this one maybe gets 3. That's another third down for the Wolfpack. This is Cortland Butler, the QB, to throw, and he's going to take a sack. James Funk brings him down, and that'll end the drive. NC State scoreless, and they'll punt it away. We'll take a look at this Gamecock offense led by Shaquille Brock, the freshman, who's had a great season, but is coming off a 5-interception performance in the game against Clemson. He needs a good start today. 1st and 10, there's a gain of 8 for Wade Mann, who's been dominant as usual, just only 2 yards shy of 1,600 on the season. 2nd and 2, this is a receiving catch for Mann as he gets the first down out to the 27. He had 8 catches in the game against Clemson in the last one we saw. Bunch to the right, here's a handoff to Wade Mann as he gets some nice yardage, but this play will not count. It will be called back. There will be a holding on the offense. That's starting right tackle in Rugamba, who's taken over for Jamie Johns the past couple of weeks. So now 1st and 20, Brock to the air. He finds Carl Saban across the middle for a gain of 7. Saban 743 yards, 7 touchdowns on the season for the former Wake Forest Demon Deacon. As on 2nd and 3, Mann will do what he does best, and that's pick up a first down. Pistol now back to him, but this time great stuff in the backfield. Nice play by Darren Stinson, the impact linebacker for NC State. After the loss of 2, though, Mann's going to pick it all up in 1 carry, 12 up the middle, and he's rolling. Coming off a 95-yard performance, already off to a good start here. But here's Monty Soro, and on his first carry, Soro's going to finish the job. 46 yards for the senior, and it's a touchdown for South Carolina. Monty Soro, the Georgia native, with the touchdown. It's 7-0 South Carolina after they strike first. So second drive here for NC State, they're on 19. This is a QB draw for Butler, who can run, but he puts it on the ground, and it's picked up by South Carolina. A good run is nullified as James Eskridge forces it away. And now South Carolina's deep in NC State territory, and they get the 3rd down there. I was going to say he didn't, but Wade Mann falls forward. Drive stays alive. So South Carolina enters the red zone. Brock, next play, hit from behind. So that one is incomplete. Darren Stinson with the pressure. 3rd and 8 now. Brock rolls to his right, trying to keep his eyes downfield. Takes the necessary shot. South Carolina will take the 3, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter, where the Gamecocks lead 10-0 after a hot start on both sides of the football, and the turnover forced by Eskridge. NC State will begin the quarter, 2nd and 6 at the 44 of South Carolina, as Butler to throw will look short, and he'll get 3. There'll be another 3rd down for NC State, and there's movement up front. They're going to go false start on the right tackle. Brian Rodriguez, the sophomore, jumps. Now it's a tougher 3rd and 8. Butler to throw. Doesn't like what he sees. Gets outside the pocket and nobody's home. And Butler will move the chains with his leg, sliding down. Pickup of 12. He's got 3 for 17 on the day. Next play, deep drop back. Butler wants to run again, but this time there's nowhere to go. Angel Casey brings him down as Casey's developed into quite the pass rusher this season. Now 3rd and 10. Butler to throw again. He's going to get outside the pocket. He gets by one defender and he picks up the first down. South Carolina allowing a lot of room on the ground as they moves the chains out to the 21. Butler, quick pass, looks left side. His receiver not ready for it, off the back. That's incomplete. Man in motion on 2nd down. It's a roll to the left. Butler is going to be pressured and throws it to the ground. So now you got another 3rd down. NC State keep the drive alive, and they will with the big way. Touchdown in the back of the end zone for Steve Boyette, his 7th of the season, as Danny Kaufman just allowed that ball to go right over his head. Bad awareness, and it's now 10-7 is the next drive for South Carolina. As here's a nice 5-yard catch for man, already his 2nd reception of the day. 2nd and 5, bubble screen out wide for Allgaier as there's nowhere to go there. Nice tackle by Phillip Hart, and now it's a 3rd and 4 for South Carolina. Pressure applied. Brock looks short. Nice adjustment by man, and he'll get the first down at midfield. Brock 5 for 7 for 38 to begin his day. Next play, quick pass to Saban. He gets 7, and Brock's closing in on a couple of records now if he continues at this pace. More on that in a little bit. Is on 2nd and 3. Brock slides. He gets hit hard as he throws. That's dangerous. And it's not even going to count anyway because there's a ineligible man downfield on left tackle Ari Bighill. So they'll accept the penalty. Now 2nd and 8. Brock goes underneath center, but he goes to throw. Quick pass for Juan Gallegos, playing back in his home state of Florida. And he moves the chains. So now out to the 36. Play fake on 1st down. Brock looks short for Allgaier, who slips a tackle. And Amari Allgaier will get out to the 19. And again, South Carolina has entered the red zone. 6.5 to go in the first half. Here's a nice pass for Otis McNitt, who gets out of the backfield. And he gets 9.5. And those numbers are starting to close for Brock in terms of some Gamecock records. First down here for Man as goal to go from the 4. Man 8 for 45 today. On 1st and goal, they'll throw for it. Brock under some pressure. Slides, looks, has a man. He's out at the 1. That was Carl Saban as Brock's 10 for 12. 2nd and goal, he's going to keep it himself this time, and he's going to find the end zone. Touchdown, Gamecock. Shaquille Brock on the ground will punch it in. And it's now 17-7 in favor of South Carolina. 4.5 to go here in the first half. NC State, after the touchback, as they have it here, this is an overthrow from Butler. Butler went 2,200 yards on the season, but not the best in terms of accuracy, as on 3rd down, they're stuffed. That'll be a punt to South Carolina, who gets it here at their own 40. This is a mid-screen for Ted Martino, and Martino's going to get free. Huge run for Martino, and that's going to be the record. With that catch, Shaquille Brock has broken the record for the amount of passing yards in a season by a Gamecock quarterback. Lenore Sellers had it back in 2025, but Brock now holds that record. Congratulations, Shaquille Brock, as that is a loss of 5, but he now puts his name in the record books for most passing yards in a season by a Gamecock quarterback. 2nd and 15, there's a nice grab by McNitt, but it's now 3rd and 6. Brock to the air, faces some pressure, rolls to his left, across his body, and a beautiful pass to McNitt, and that's a touchdown, and that's another record. The most passing touchdowns in a season now belongs to Shaquille Brock with 33, as he finds and breaks the record of Lenore Sellers in that same 2025 season. A great end to the half for Shaquille Brock, in particular in the Gamecocks lead 24-7 going into the half. And, well, we have an interesting halftime report because the first round of games has been played. Rutgers beats Oregon State, so we see Utah over North Texas, Oregon over Oklahoma, and Western Kentucky in the battle of Group 5 teams beats Tulane. That sets up TCU, Rutgers, Auburn, Utah, Miami, Oregon, and Washington, Western Kentucky in the quarterfinals. So we'll see at the end of this episode who makes it to the national championship. But we still have a half of football to play here in Jacksonville. Is on 1st down. Brock barely misses Amari Allgaier. 2nd and 10, now go to the ground. Man's had a good day, but only picks up 3 here. And it's an early 3rd down for the Gamecocks. Brock setting up a screen for Man. He's got it. It's going to be a foot race, and Man will get the spots. He just gets the first down. It's Brock now 15 for 19. Next play, he's going to keep it himself. Brock on the ground gets outside, and he's going to scamper out of bounds after picking up 8 with his legs. 5 carries, 26 yards, a touchdown for the redshirt freshman from Irmo. 2nd and 2, pitch pass to Allgaier will get the first down, as now they're out to the 44 and driving. Here's a swing pass for Mann, but this one's read nicely by Philip Hartz. 5 catches on the day for the junior. 2nd and 9, here's a carry for Mann, who gets outside, gets some space, and he's swinging down at the 34. 12 for 81 for Wade Mann today. Just continues to just be an absolute force at the halfback position. Here's Monty Soro. He's not as lucky on this carry as he gets minimal yardage. And now it's 2nd and 10. Brock quick pass short for Allgaier, who takes a nice hit, but he holds on through the contacts. The 3rd grab for Allgaier today. 3rd and 4 now go to the Gamecocks as Brock wants the deep ball for the end zone for Saban. It's incomplete. Nice defense by Philip Hart. He's played a pretty good game. The South Carolina will add 3. It's now 27-7. NC State down by 20 as they get their first drive. Actually, down by 20 as they get their first drive of the second half. After a 5-yard completion, Butler again looks short, has a crossing receiver, and this will be a first down for Steve Boyette. Butler 9 for 12 for only 81 yards. It's been very much a run-heavy game for NC State, surprisingly enough. And this time it's not going to work out, as that's Chauncey Parkey with a nice tackle for a loss. 2nd and 12, handoff for Cashman. He wiggles his way for 3. And they're actually going to go no huddle here. It's 3rd and 9. They hurry back to the line. Butler to throw. He's going to be chased. Gets outside the pocket, and he's got room to run. He gets the edge and a lot to go as he's down at the 40 of South Carolina. A big gain of 29 on the ground, and they continue to push the pace. Handoff here. It's going nowhere except loss of 3. James Funk again in the backfield. After a momentary break, Butler will hold it this time on the read option as he picks up 9. Makes it a much more manageable 3rd and 4, and NC State's right back to the no-huddle offense. I thought we'd see more of this today. Instead, we've seen a lot of running. As on 3rd and 4, there's a nice grab across the middle. Taking a heavy contact is Timothy President. Now to the 25, quick pass right side. Here's President again, who picks up a first down. Best drive of the day for NC State. They're at the 12 now of South Carolina. Handoff right side, nice juke move, and that's going to pick up 4. Clock continues to tick, though. Already inside 6 minutes to go in the 3rd, so NC State needs to start scoring fast as they hand it off here, and it's going to go backwards again. Sonny Gallen with great run defense today. That's already his 5th tackle. 3rd and 8, handoff Cashman right side. Nice move, and he finds the end zone. Touchdown, Jeremiah Cashman, his 3rd of the season. NC State cuts into the lead. It's now 27-14. As now there's about at the 30 of South Carolina. Nice bubble screen for Allgaier, who makes a great move on the spinning safety DJ Hawker for a nice first down. South Carolina again in NC State territory. Offenses look good today. Next play, though, Brock goes backwards, and they're quickly out of territory, as that's Logan O'Reilly in the backfield, who's had a good season. 3rd and 6 now. Brock rolls to his right, wants the short pass, and he can't complete, and that'll bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. As it's 27-14 Gamecocks here in Jacksonville, Florida for the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. South Carolina lost in their bowl game last year, trying to get back in the win column. They just got to hold on here. And they're forcing a punt to NC State to begin the 4th quarter. As Martino will field this with good territory, already in the NC State side of the field. South Carolina now pushes it to the 27. Brock tries to keep it again, and again it's not going to work. Read options have been covered nicely by NC State, including Tashawn Keene with that one. Now it's 2nd and 12. Brock trying to change some things up, but the left side of the line will jump, and that will be 5 more minus yards for South Carolina. So quickly they're now at 2nd and 17, and now it's 3rd and 17. Brock to the air, steps up, just checks his shorts. They want at least the field goal, which they will get. So 30-14 your score, a 16-point lead for South Carolina. As now with 10 minutes to go, they just got to hold on. Cashman with a nice run, breaks a couple of tackles, picks up 9. He's had a very busy day. Already at 18 carries, 59 yards and a touchdown. 2nd and 1, here's a nice change of pace to the back. Stutter steps for Rodney Fadafi, his 3rd carry of the day. And on 1st and 10, there's some movement, and this time it's going to go against the Gamecocks. Angel Casey gets a little happy feet as he gives them 5 free ones on the encroachment. So now 1st and 5 for NC State. Hand it off to Cashman, right side, his 19th carry, and it's a first down out to the 22. Next first down, and again there's going to be movement on that right side. Gamecocks get caught jumping again. 5 more free ones, this time the culprit being Colby Boyette, the senior. Now it's 1st and 5. Butler back in at quarterback after a Wildcat showing, and this time it's going to be Cashman with his 20th carry, who picks up 3. 2nd and 2, quick pass, first down grab. This is caught by Hayden Glowinski, who gets them goal to go from the 6. Butler's numbers pretty pedestrian today, even though he's had a very high completion percentage. First and goal is Fadafei, will get 3. And just like that, the clock continues to wind. Right now at 6.5 minutes. As NC State letting the clock run. No hurry here. As they fake the screen, and this time just throw in the dirt. Nice coverage by South Carolina. And now you got 3rd and goal from the 3. Butler wants to throw for it. Scrambles to his left, and nobody's going to be home. And he'll trump into the end zone for a touchdown. So that's going to be 7 on the board. 6 for NC State, because they're going to go forward the 2-point, trying to make it a 8-point game. As they go with a speed option left side, flip it to 5A, and nobody's in front of them. So now it's a 1-possession game. South Carolina will take it to the 2-minute warning with a chance to get some more points. As they got it 2nd and 9 here, they hand it off to Mann, who will get outside, and that's a huge first down for Mann, and a little bit more. Breaks the tackle, he's down at the 3, and now NC State will start calling timeouts. Touchdown was surely in. This one is on 1st and goal. They just run it, trying to burn some timeouts. Wolfpack have one more as it's 2nd and goal from the 6. They'll hand it off to Mann, and he'll go down, and that'll be the last timeout for NC State. We'll see how aggressive South Carolina gets here on 3rd and goal as Brock takes the snap. He doesn't like what he sees. Tries to buy some time, but actually takes a pretty big sack. As that goes down to Darren Stinson, the former 5-star. It sets up a 36-yard try, but it will be not through. So that's a big field goal. It lets the clock drain, and it makes it a 11-point game. NC State will try to answer back with a field goal of their own, and they will. So it's back to within 8. But now the onside kick will decide the game. As this one's booted, it's picked up by Sonny Gallen, the senior, and that will end this game. Fittingly enough, it's the senior who ends it. And South Carolina will be victorious in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl this year by a final score of 33-25. Ending the season on a win, ending the season with a bowl game. Shaquille Brock, your player of the game. And ending the season by beating a ranked team. And I know it wasn't the most consistent season. We finished 9-4. But hey, we get a win in the bowl game. We get to end on a nice note, send our seniors home and out of the school on a positive note. We will miss the seniors. We'll see them more as we get into the recap portion of the episode. But a good game for the Gamecocks. Defense played well. The offense did good as well. Brock got a couple of records. And that will bring it to the end of this one. But now we'll see who makes it to the national championship game. We saw the finals of the first round as we go into the second round, as we are the Gator Bowl winner. Congratulations, you have won the Gator Bowl. Thank you, thank you. We'll add that trophy to the collection. Take a look at the bracket to end the quarterfinal. Auburn beat Utah. TCU knocked off Rutgers in a close one. Oregon dominated Miami. And Western Kentucky upsets Washington. So the Hilltoppers are now in the semifinals, setting up an Auburn-TCU matchup in the Sugar Bowl. And the Rose Bowl will be Oregon and Western Kentucky. A big-time game there, as we'll see who makes it to the national championship. But before we get to that point, we will have our new defensive coordinator. We fired our DC, and we got a new one. Hopefully this will help fix the defense. They played like they did in the bowl game. It surely will help. But who's going to the national championship game? It's going to be Auburn versus Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers get it done. They run the bracket and make it to the national championship. 1 versus 10. The ultimate Cinderella story here in the playoff has occurred, and now Western Kentucky is 1 game away from winning their first ever national championship. They've only been to one other national championship. That was an FCS national championship. So still a relatively newish program, and now have the chance to end what has been a sensational run for the Hilltoppers. But it's not going to be easy because they got to play the number 1 seed in the Auburn Tigers, who are very much still remembering last year where they made it to the national championship and got shutouts against the Georgia Bulldogs. Well, it's not the Georgia Bulldogs. It's another team in red this year. They're led by Heisman Trophy winner Frederick Prude, looking for their first national championship in 19 years. We'll see if they can get it done. But we'll see that in the next episode. I'm going to live stream the national championship so we can watch it here together. It's either going to be Friday or Saturday, so make sure you stay tuned in the community tab so you can see what time and what day that stream will be at. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty Mode content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.